Hello, I would love to welcome you to this video. This is the voice of Joseph Amani. All right, in this video, I'll be walking you through the Pixellab application. All right, there are many tools here, and I'll be walking you through it now. Let's start with this first one. All right, there are many tools here. This one is actually for alphabet. This one is for images. This is for the background. But let's start with this first one. All right, from this first one, the first thing you would notice there is for that's my project. All right, my project. So in this place, you can check out the projects you've worked on before, just like you can rightly see here. So the next thing apart from that, these are background and test effects that you could actually work with. All right, you can see them as I tap on them. You can basically see them changing. So these are some kind of pre-loaded background and text or text effect, like you can rightly see. All right, let's move to the next item. Now this is the next item. Now this is the text item, talking about the text. All right, before I go to the text, let me come back here. All right, we are back to the text. Now the first thing you'd see in the text is my styles. All right, I'll come back to my styles later. Before I come back to that, let me show us something very important. Now you can actually edit directly from here. When you come to my text, let me write something there. Jesus is Lord. All right, so this is how you do that. The first thing is when you come to this place, you now do the edit by tapping on the edit. All right, you could also bring a text in by this plus icon. All right, when you tap on this plus icon, you tap on text and you can just put in what you want to put. Jesus is Lord. Yes, so that's fantastic. So let's move to the next item. Now, take for example this Jesus is Lord I've written. I could delete it. How do I do that? I can delete it by tapping on the delete. So when I tap on delete, it goes out. All right. And I could copy it with this copy. When I tap on copy, you can see it as copied. Now to front to back. All right, I'll come to that later. Now let's move to the next one, position. So I can actually position the Jesus is Lord. Okay, let me delete so that I just make use of one. Yes, delete. Yes, delete. Let me make use of this. All right, so me making use of this now. Yeah, so I can position it this. I can position it by moving it around. I could actually move it around with my hands, but then there are times I would need to make use of this. I could increase the speed of the movement and I could reduce it, making use of the move by there. So that is it. So the next one is relative position. So this relative position, I can use it to centralize or bring to the center my text, like you rightly saw, or I can put it by the side or by the side. I can take it up or down, or I just tap on this and this and it comes to center. So that's that aspect. Now the next thing is the size. I can just use this to increase or reduce the size. All right, I could also use my hands to do that, but this is better for accuracy. All right, now let's move to the next thing. That's padding. All right, for padding, we'll come back to that later. As time goes on, I'll be showing you how to make use of that. So let's talk about the color. So if I want to change the color of this Jesus is Lord, you could see it's white. So if I want to change the color, look at the colors there. I could just pick up any of the colors there. Or if I press on this plus icon, I can come to this color wheel. This thing is called color wheel, and pick any color. If I want it to be green, I'll just come here. And when I come to this green area, I can use these three other rectangles below to fine tune it, or the kind of green variant I want. I'll just pick it up. I believe you're following. So that's how it works. That is exactly how it works. Then you can see something here. Apart from this color, beneath this color, you can see something written as gradient. So let me tap on gradient. So I haven't tapped on gradient. The gradient simply talks about the fact that I can combine two colors together or three colors together, but in this case, two colors. So let me do something. Let me tap on this. Now you can see that's changed, right? So let me tap on this plus. Let me make use of it in red and something like that, red and white or thereabouts. So let me select. Now you can see there are two colors, black and white. So if I tap on black and if I tap on white, you'd see that it's changing to yellow. Beneath it, you can see that yellow there. So that indicates that you've actually tapped on the black or the white. So let's start with the black. Haven't tapped on that. You can see this place, tap on it, and you can now move it to this red, right? Then you adjust till you have your red showing there. So I OK it. You can see it has changed to red. Now I will have to pick this other one. I haven't tapped on the other one. The next thing I would need to do is tap on this icon again. Okay. So let me make it green instead of white. Right. Let me move it down there. All right. And let me make it light green. Okay. Yeah. So okay, you can see now. All right, you can see that the Jesus is Lord has changed. So that's gradient. This is gradient, and basically I just made use of this to show you an example. So let's move to the next thing. If you don't want color, you can use texture. So talking about texture, you could just tap on this and pick up an image. You can just pick up any image, whatever image you have. You can just pick it up. All right, let me just pick up an image. I can basically pick up anyone. Let me pick up this. All right, and okay, you can see something changed, right? I was able to add that image to give it a texture. So this is not perfect, but then basically I'm just making use of this for illustrations, for illustration, yeah. So let's move to the next thing. The next one we have here is the opacity. That's just for the transparency, and yeah, that's it, basically for transparency. Let me change the texture back to color. All right, or let me take off the texture so that I can continue with what I was doing. Yeah, so Jesus is Lord. So talking about opacity, when you move this, it becomes faint, it's getting transparent. So this opacity basically controls the transparency level of the color. So let's move to the next thing. We have rotate here. You could rotate it. That's what it's used for. And if you want to come back to the normal way it was, you could just type on this and boom, it goes back. So that's it. We have mask. We'll come back to that later. We have fonts. There are lots of fonts here. You can change to any kind of font you want. My fonts, you could just pick up any font you want. All right, you can see it changed. But let's go back to the way it was. So that's fonts, and I would show you how to upload fonts to your Pixellab as time goes on. So we also have style. Maybe you want to make it bold. You see, it became bold. And if you want to take it off the bold, you tap on this T. You want to make it italic, you could see that. You can go back. You want to underline, you tap on this U. So that's the function. For bold, you tap on bold. The B. For italics, you tap on the I. And to underline, you tap on this. So that's it. And if you want to undo it, you either tap on this or you tap on this. All right. So that is it. That is it. Let's move to the next one. We just finished with bold, right? So curve. You could curve your text. I hope you can see that. Just move it around, and you can undo by tapping on this. So that's for that background. Here you can enable it and add some background. We'll come into that later. And align. So there is justify. This one basically works when the text you have lots of text. All right, you could just justify. or you could just put it into center. This one is center, this one is to right, and this one is to left. So when we have a lot of text, we'll be able to use this feature. So when we get to that point, I'll show you how to make use of it. Now let's move to, okay, line spacing and all of that. We'll come to that. They are very important tools. We'll come to that. And talking about stroke, you can add some kind of stroke to your text and give it a color you need. Well, yeah, you can see that now. So you can see what I mean by the stroke. Yeah, that thing. So that's the stroke. That's the stroke. You could add shadow. Yeah, you can see, maybe I want the shadow to be, let's say, white. You can add your shadow, increase your shadow, or reduce it and all of that. You can just play around it. Okay, let's go back. There's inner shadow and a whole lot, right? We'll come back to all of this. So this is how to actually make use of it, because I don't want this video to be too long. So as time goes on, you get to understand how to make use of these features. Definitely you'd. So let's move to the next one. We just finished text. So let's move to this one. This controls images. So let me bring an image. All right. Say, let's start with this first, the stickers. So you could add a sticker. You could just add something. And yeah, this is a sticker. You could add that, but let's delete this. And basically this controls stickers, but that's not our focus now. Let's move to import. You could just import an image by tapping on import. Let me import an image. All right, it's not responding. Okay, it has responded. So let me bring any image. Basically, let me bring this shoe image. So I haven't tapped on the shoe image. Let me tap on that again. Okay, it's not responding. All right, good. I have the image here now. So this is the image. All right, it multiplied. It came more than one. So let me just make use of one of them. So now talking about the image, I haven't picked that image. I can actually reselect that. If I tap on that, I can come and reselect if this is not the one I want. So that's the feature. That's the use of this reselect feature. And if I tap on delete, it will delete. All right, let me bring that back. And I can crop it. All right, when I tap on crop, I can just use a freehand crop and crop it. I hope you get. Yeah, let's move to the next item, which is copy. So if I tap on copy, this shoe would copy. You can see we have two of it now, two identicals. So that's how it works. And now let me do something. Let me make use of this to front and to back feature. So in doing that, let me bring one other image. So let me tap on import. So let me bring in, let me bring this in. All right, good. So take for example, you can see that these two images are behind this one. So if I want to bring this to the front of this one, I just need to tap on to front. You can see it came front, to the front rather. Now, if I want to take it back, all I just need to do is tap to back. To back. I hope you saw that. So that's how it works. All right, let's move to the next thing. So position, yeah, just the way it worked for the text the other time, that's how it works here too. Relative position, the same thing, that's how it works. Relative size, the same thing, that's how it works. I hope you saw that. So color, texture, the same way it worked. Opacity, you can reduce the opacity. You can see that, right? So that's it. And yeah, let me make use of this erase. So maybe I want to erase something. I could just make use of this item to erase a specific thing I don't want, and it will go out. We'll get to use that better. Let me use this eraser now. Okay, let me tap on this. There's difference between this eraser and erase color. Erase color can select a specific color and take out. Then this eraser will basically clear off what you have. All right, let me increase this so you can see. Let me tap on the tool. So you can see I'm erasing it now. So this is how it works. This is how it works. So yep, so it has been erased. You can see the effect. All right, let me take that back and back. Yeah, so that's how it works. The rotate, all of these things. We'll get to understand it as time goes on. Now let's move to the next one, which is this. So this is the background. This is what controls the background. So this is the background area. So we are done with text, we are done with image. So this is the background area. So if I want to change the background now, I want to change the background. All I just need to do is tap on color. I can tap on black. You saw it changed to black. White, it became white. Red became white. You could also make it gradient the way we used gradient for text the other time. Just tap on any one. So that's how it works. All right. So for transparent, if you want it to be transparent, you just tap on transparent. Your background become transparent. So that's it. You could also resize your background. That's what we call the canva, or what we call the yeah, that's what we call the canva, and or your background. Basically, we can change the size from this place, whether I want it to be square. Okay, let me make it. All right, let me pick this YouTube thumbnail and tap. You can see it changed. This was not how the background looked like before now, but it changed. So let me take it back. It was on square, so it's back. So that's how to do it. And if you want your background to be an image, you could just tap on this image and pick anyone. You can see there, right, pre-uploaded. And if it's image from gallery, you tap on this. So you can just come and pick whichever background, right, you will be making use of. So that is it. That is it. That's how it works. And if you want to use your camera, you could just use your camera as well and snap whatever it is you want to snap. So that is how this one works. All right, so we are done with all of that. Let's move to the ones at the top. So talking about the ones at the top, this first one, if you want to add text, you can just tap on the plus and add text. Right, it's looking really rough here. Let me delete this. All right, let me delete this and change it back to color black. All right, so if you want to add text, you can just choose this plus icon. You add text. All right, you can add text like you rightly saw. You could add shapes as well. You can see the shape is a square shape. You could tap on this and pick up any other shape you want. All right, any shape. So as time goes on, we'll work with that. So now for this next icon, let's say you want to save as project, you tap on it, and maybe what you have designed, you want to save it. You tap on it and give it a name. Maybe you want to call it um birthday flyer, something like that. Birthday flyer. You could just do that and you've saved it already. All right. All right, so the reason you saw this is sometimes when you actually do that, you would see an ad pop up. Yeah, you'd see an ad pop up. All right, so the second thing you can do with this is save as image. So you want to export, make sure you select either JPG, that's JPEG, or PNG, anyone. And whenever you come to the cost to these dimensions, the quality, make sure you choose ultra, use ultra. Then you now save here or you share. That's how it works. So if you check your gallery, it has been saved. So that's how it works. Now for this, if you want to share, you just share directly. And for this, just basically for quotes, you can just pick it up for quotes. And Also, right here, you can actually make use of the features here. The first one is use image from gallery. That's another way to change the background. Yeah, there are lots of things here. Even this image size, the same way we were doing to change the size in the other time. That's how that one works. So there are lots of things here, and as time goes on, we'll learn them. So this tool, if you tap on this tool, you could use this tool to edit this element, or this element. You use it to edit it, all right, or work on it. So this tool simply means redo. So you see where this thing is positioned. If I move it here and I tap on this redo, it's going to take it back to where it was. You can see that, right? So that is it. So it was here, I moved it here. If I tap on redo, to take it back, right? So that is how the redo works. Yeah. So this one is for zoom. Basically, I want to zoom in the page. This is what I would use. After tapping on that, I just drag, right? Drag my screen and it will zoom. So I'm done making use of it. So this one is grid. This grid, basically, if I tap on that, I also tap on this. The grid is basically used to like align text or align any element on your design, right? That's what this grid is made use of. And if I want to add more, I just tap on this. That's adding to the right. If I want to add, that's if I want to add vertical or horizontal, I just make use of this. That's how it works. And if I want to delete, I could delete the vertical or the horizontal, making use of those ones as well. So of that one as well. So that's how it works. That's basically how it works. So this is the last one I will be showing you today. So with this one, you can see that you can see this shape. If I tap on lock, that means it has been locked. I can't move it again. And if I tap on this thing that looks like a human, looks like a human eye, all I just need to do is tap on it, it disappears, and tap on it, it comes back. And if I tap on delete here, it deletes. So that's how it works. And I could also tap on this place and move it up, or move it down. So as time goes on, you definitely understand it. So um, that is all about this video. I've been able to walk you through the introduction to Pixellab and how to use the features on Pixellab. So take your time to go through the video again. You will learn a whole lot from it. And I urge you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you found this useful, then you can turn on post notification and share this video to people who need it. I wish you all the best and God bless.